joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for his big-time golf tournament, a truncated edition of this particular program, one that we all look forward to every single week, our favorite day of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, four-time NFL MVP, the COVID MVP, the former or current quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Rodgers.
Yay!
Wow.
What's up, guys?
You look like you're on a movie set right now, dude. You look wonderful. Where are you, pal?
I am in the tailor-made trailer here, getting some a new driver fitted for me.
Oh, how do we feel? We bombing it right now, or are we finding the stroke?
Great. I've played one time since August, so my game is dialed.
Yeah, but isn't that what you did whenever you did the match and you showed up and you drained that 15-foot left to right putt to win the whole thing? That was like your first time playing in a year. You're better that way, aren't you?
Well, it wasn't my first time playing in a year.
Pretty much. You came straight out of fucking Hungary or whatever. I mean, you were straight out, right onto the course, right on national television.
Had to get tatted up.
Sick tat, too. That was a sick tat. All right, we won't waste much of your time. We thank you for joining us. Obviously, you're in preparation of the Pebble Beach ProAm, one that you're able to play in for the first time in a long time. We think you're going to do great.
Go get him.
We think you're going to do great. Let's dive right in here. Have you thought about football much, or has everything been geared towards the Pebble Beach ProAm and still trying to figure out your life? Where are you right now as we sit at this exact moment?
I haven't been thinking about much of anything, to be honest, and it's been great. I've been enjoying my time off. I had a little trip out to Nashville to see Randall Cobb and my godson for his birthday, and I got to run into that Bakhtiari clan. So I got to see Dave. He looks heavy, I will admit. He's definitely put on some lbs in his recreation time. He assures me that they'll come off pretty quickly, but he looks a little bloated right now. He says it's some of the baby weight that's just coming off now. But great to see him and his brothers and his sister and his brother-in-law. It's just every time you go to a Bakhtiari event, you know it's going to be a good time.
That's fantastic. I'm happy to hear you're enjoying yourself. Good, AJ?
Did you swing by the facility and talk to Coach Vapes at all while you're down there about possibly joining the Titans next year? That seems to be floating around out there.
I didn't. I was out of cigarettes, so I didn't even conversation starter to hit up Vapes. But yeah, I was all out of Black and Mild, so I didn't think I had an entry point in order to start a convo with him.
Could you imagine if Rapes is smoking Black and Milds or anything like instead of just Marlboros, which I thought it was? Him out at Tahoe coming back from the round with 4 fucking patches in, throwing the cigarette thing away and hitting a vape at the same time. I'm like, this guy is a fucking legend. Do you still have raw land down there in Nashville, or do you have a house down there now?
That's the rumor, but just picking up on something you just mentioned, he might not be the only coach that likes to vape.
Oh.
There was that video of another coach possibly doing a little vaping on the sideline as well.
I think that was a marker. I think it was a marker, but McDaniel did seem
I like the vape story better. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. That's what AJ always says.
Agreed. And when he came into our studio in Indianapolis when he was in town for the Combine, I would have thought maybe he did have a couple vapes. Not the nicotine variety. Other variety because of how fantastic.
DMT vapes?
Maybe.
DMT vapes for A-Rod and Network floats in your circles? They have those, right?
I didn't hear what he said.
DMT.
vape pens.
Yeah, they got them.
Do they really? They have DMT vapes?
I don't have one. They do, yeah. I don't have one, but I've heard they yeah.
That's upset of the century. You don't have one. That they exist, I think. Don't you think?
I agree, yes.
I feel like
we need to remedy that. Is that what you're saying? Need to remedy that?
Well, I think at the Pro-Am, there's probably going to be numerous people that go like, hey, heard on Tuesday, didn't have one of these, go one of these, go one of these. I'm excited to hear it. So you haven't thought about football much, huh? Just been trying to enjoy life, kick back and relax and see what everything's cooking?
No, of course I thought about football. I watched the games this weekend. The second one was enjoyable. Obviously, the first one, Purdy going down, didn't have anywhere near the same type of excitement. But so yeah, I mean that you watch that game, you let your mind drift off to what it would be like to still be playing, and all those thoughts come back to you. And then then you come up to Pebble Beach and you're like, oh, this part of life's pretty amazing. Doing things like this more often. So, look, it's going to be a little bit more time for my decision, and I feel confident that in a couple of weeks I'll feel definitely more strongly about one of the two decisions.
Okay, so you have to make your decision. And every time we talk about anything that could potentially take place with you, because of obviously you've earned this chatter from around the NFL with how great you are as a football player, you have to still decide whether or not you want to play football. That's a real thing still happening, right?
That is a real thing, yes.
Like weighing heavy on your mind still, like a real battle? Like, are we doing pros and cons on a dry erase board, or is it just a gut instinct thing that's still happening?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say weighing heavy. I don't think that's the right description of it. I would say, when you've played as long as I have, and you like to recap and each week, the things that happened, and you enjoy journaling and different things. I think it's important to look at the tone of those things and where your mind is in these, when you get away from it, because that's you have to get away from the emotion of it, and that's why I always think I can't make a decision until after the Super Bowl at the earliest, because there's still football going on. Number one. Number two, like, it ain't about me. It's about the Chiefs and the Eagles still playing and the great season that they've had.
Respect.
But I think you got to be cognizant of what was going through your mind during the season. Did you enjoy the grind as much? Did you enjoy practice? Did you enjoy the meeting time? Did you enjoy the routine? And not forget about those feelings and make an emotional response either way. I think that's important. So, listen, I'll answer the questions that you give me, but it's not something that's on my mind 24/7. It's not on my mind that much at all, to be honest with you. It's just settling into this part of the end of January and February, and contemplating, my life, for the next few months, and then trying to see if football fits into that.
All right, enjoy the hell out of yourself. You've earned it. You deserve it. So how do you see this going? You have to figure out what you want to do, and then your first call is to the Packers, and then you let them know what you're thinking, and then they said that we'll let you know what we're thinking, and then that's kind of how the whole process will unfold, you think?
I think so. I mean, it sounds like there's already conversations going on that aren't involving me, which are interesting. Honestly, I've been insulated to a lot of that. Like I said, I was in Nashville, and then I'll be up here, this week playing in the tournament. So I'm not a part of those conversations right now. When I make up my mind one way or another, then you guys and Packers, not in that order, and everybody else will know at some point.
Okay, cool. Excited for you to go through your whole process. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Aaron, just curious if you heard about it. I mean, I'm sure you have, but maybe you haven't if you've just been enjoying yourself. But I think it was Romeo Dobbs went on Maggie and Perloff and said that you guys didn't hang out once outside of the facility. I don't think he meant anything by it necessarily. Maybe he did, but then obviously it was the same kind of rinse and repeat. This guy's a shitty teammate. No one likes him. He doesn't hang out with anyone outside of the facility. Are you, at this point, surprised by any of that shit? Do you pay any attention to it or any credence to it? Or is it kind of just like, oh, here we go again? Any little reason for people to kind of be negative about you and shit on you, like they'll take it and run with it?
Well, it's the same tired voices, I think, for the most part. It's people that either aren't playing or weren't anywhere near my level, still trying to have a name on TV, or people that enjoy trying to run with a narrative that makes me look bad. Listen, I'm 100% attendance on every team party. I don't know that every person can say that on the squad, so that's a chance to hang out with me in those venues. I'm damn near 100% every single line dinner. We do some dinners on the road. So I feel like I spend a lot of time with my teammates, and I love that time. Now, there's obviously ones you're closer with than others. Dave and Randall are two of my closest friends on the team. I spend a lot of time with them. Bobby and Alan spent a good amount of time with them as well. Two of my closest buddies on the team. Mason Crosby, go over to his house. But what those guys have in common, especially, Mace and Dave and Randall, is they're in their 30s.
Old as fuck.
I'm 39 years old. Yeah. Like, the things that I'm thinking about and doing and spending my time doing are a little probably different than a 21 and 22-year-old. After the day is done, I'm not going home playing video games, all night and on Twitch and all these different things that young kids do, which is awesome. I mean, I have no problem with that. Hey, you spend your time wherever you want to spend it, but I'm just not maybe having the same interest. So I love Rome's. I mean, I enjoy playing with Rome's. I enjoyed our conversation in the room. I enjoyed seeing his personality come out. But there's two types of leaders, and there's leaders that want to be liked first and foremost and respected second. And there's leaders that want to be respected first and foremost and liked second. And I think one type of leadership makes you make decisions that are based solely in never wanting to be the bad guy. And I've just never really resonated with that type of leadership. Obviously, we all, on a human level, want to be appreciated and liked. But from a leadership standpoint in the locker room, I want to be respected. I want the guys to respect my work, to respect how I hold myself accountable and hold them accountable. And to me, that's how you model leadership that actually sticks and lasts in this league. And I think there's been a couple people over the years that haven't been able to handle that very well. And maybe we've had bad experiences on the way out, and that's fine. That's their experience. Life is about perspective, and truth is actually wrapped up in that perspective, because our truth is going to be related to how we view the world. There's three sides to every story, though. There's yours, there's mine, and there's the truth. So we got to remember that whenever we're thinking about basically any type of story, that our perspective directly impacts the way that we view the world and the way that we feel about what is truly going on in situations. That to be said, I love my teammates and love spending time with them, and I don't give a shit about any of the other comments outside of that. It's honestly, I wouldn't hear it if it wasn't for Tom Fanning sending me some random text about what's going on. Love Tom for it, but I'm enjoying my life right now.
Yeah, he has to be the bearer of the interesting news that is circulating around your life. That is not a good position. Shout out to Tom for being the guy that has to do that. Romeo had no idea what was going to come from that. Remember, very young guy, very different than your old ass at 39. Me and Vinatieri, I think people have seen me and Vinny are tight as hell. I think whenever I was a rookie, I got in the league, he was like 36 or 37 years old. Damn. Like that, we're two very different worlds whenever you're talking about it. And I think that's a very normal thing that kind of takes place. But whenever it's Aaron Rodgers, obviously you have to bang the drum of this guy sucks. I don't know how you've lived this life as long as you have, but I'm happy it's not me, goddammit. AQ has a question for you, Aaron. 2 weeks in a row.
Whoa! Slow down. Hey, I'll echo your sentiment. When I was 34 in my last year, I wasn't actively seeking rookies to hang out with outside of football. That's neither here nor there. The question is, Brock Purdy gets injured. Do you think it's time to maybe have another conversation with reinstating the emergency quarterback?
Yes, 100%. 100%. Because nobody wants to see it like that. Nobody wants to see 1 and 2 go down and then you don't even have a third. Now, a lot of teams, I don't know if they have a third. I don't know if did they have a third to suit up on that game day? I'm not sure if they did or not.
I don't think, no, because they're already on quarterback 4 and 5 there. You know what I mean?
Right. But that's a great point. I saw some other people mention it. I think that's 100% should be the standard. You should be able to suit up 3 quarterbacks in a game. And if all 3 go down, that's terrible luck, and it is what it is. But when 1 and 2 go down, and then you put a guy back in the game who supposedly has a UCL injury, and obviously there was a problem because they were just literally running the ball. I was thinking, can he even just loft a fade down the field? Yeah. The answer is no. He could throw a ball about 5 yards, probably in significant pain on a screen pass. So nobody wants to see that, especially not in the championship game. But it is what it is, and that's the way the ball bounced for both teams in that game. But I think, hey, you make a great point. There needs to be 3 quarterbacks dressed on game day. And there shouldn't be a penalty associated with it. The NFL, it's all about the dollar, right? So if you raise the third guy up, there's the rules about the, you can raise the guy up 3 times and you got to put him on the active roster, right? So that's, if they can figure out the money thing, then they can make it work.
All right, we'll keep this truncated, obviously, which is an incredible word that I learned of this morning, and we know you're very busy, and we thank you for your time. Want to bounce away from the Purdy and the third quarterback. Happy you got that. Let's go with some coaching hires that are taking place, people that you know. Nathaniel Hackett obviously goes to the Denver Broncos for a year. It does not work at all. Our sources have told us around league circles, the conversation is that was not Nathaniel Hackett's problem. Nathaniel Hackett is being viewed in very high regards by everybody, which is why he got the New York Jets offensive coordinator job so quickly. Hypothetical. Hey.
Okay.
Hypotheticals. All right. Nathaniel Hackett getting a gig somewhere, or somebody that you know getting a gig somewhere, does that sway you in any thoughts if the Packers were to say, we'd like to move on and you'd like to play football? Obviously, there's a lot of what ifs, but if you put yourself into that mind frame, and can you even answer that question at this point?
No, I can't. I mean, there's not a great answer I can give you. We all have certain coaches that have meant a lot to us over the years, and have created those really special rooms to play in, special feelings on game day, made the weeks better. Obviously, Nathaniel's one of those guys. I would say there's been a handful of coaches over the years who've been just on another different level. Guys who you just kind of bonded with more than other guys. And it's not a shot at any other coach you've played with. It's just
humans,
just like with teammates. Some guys you love, and some guys you love and you spend more time with them off the field. That's why having Tom back this year was so special, because Tom has always had a special place in my heart, because he was the guy that really raised me up as a young player and spent hours and hours and hours with me on fundamentals and reads and fronts and pressures and coverages and becoming an expert at the offense. So I always loved Tom, and I love spending time with Tom over the years. Luke Getsy is always going to be a close one for me, because he's just such a special guy. He was basically my same age. And I watched him, rise the ranks the right way of coaching and put in his time and be in the room with us, and we had a blast. Alex Van Pelt, one of my all-time favorites as well, just taught me how to be a CEO of the squad, how to lead in that way, and how to play fake with the best of them. Love AVP, love spending time with him off the field. Hack, same way. Love Hack. I mean, Hack's my guy. I love him, and Megan and the kids are really special to me. Like, we really bonded when he was in Green Bay. He made it fun. He made the room fun, made the weeks fun. So that those guys are always going to be really special, and that's just a handful of people that have meant to me. But those guys have been in my room consistently, and guys you love being around. I mean, listen, I'm not sure what the future holds for me, but those are friendships, the ones I mentioned, that are going to last longer than football, and I'm really thankful for that part of the sport and what the sport gives you in that regard.
Okay, go ahead, AJ.
What makes someone a good coach? Like, what do they show that you can say, all right, yeah, this dude's a great leader, great coach? Like, what characteristics have you found over the years?
And who should the Colts hire? So you know.
There you go.
Because hey, Woody Johnson, I don't want to say it, but I don't know.
Yeah, probably
not. That's the owner of the Jets. No offense, Jets fans, but I mean, you put that name together, add an and another one. Coach Jim Irsay, guy's got a museum, guitars. He's cool, super artsy.
Cranky.
Just something that, hey, listen, you got to make your decision. But what does it make about a coach? You're right. Good question, AJ. Good question, AJ. Good question.
Well, if anyone ever called me as a reference, one name that has been floating around out there, who I would give a ringing endorsement to, is Rich Bisaccia. I'm a tremendous fan of his. He is a prototypical leader who wants to be respected more than he's liked, and I think that from the starting point creates an accountability in whatever room you're controlling, whether that's the entire room, or a position room, or a phase of the game like offense, defense, and teams. And then you throw in there an incredible ability to control the room with his speech. Very thoughtful individual, very sharp, and then the love that he brings as well, I think is just such a perfect combo. So you have the accountability, you have the respect factor, you have the expectations, you have the ability to control the room, and then you have someone who shows you constantly how much he cares about you and loves you and tells you, and it's real because he's already led with the accountability and the respect. He changed that phase of our team for sure. And contrary to common thought, maybe, there's not a lot of Rich Bisaccia types out there. There's not a lot of people like that. And I think in this league, that it's harder for older coaches to get jobs. I think we can all agree on that. That's not a mind-blowing statement. There's not a lot of 60-year-old guys getting head coaching jobs, right? There's fewer and fewer because, most teams want to go with kind of the young up-and-coming guy. And Rich, for whatever reason, been passed over most of his career, but paid his dues, coached it, everywhere you could possibly imagine. He's probably, coached there. Then he went to Oakland and became the interim head coach. And you talk to those guys, I'd say they all love Rich, and they appreciate Rich, what he stood for, what he's all about. You talk to our guys in the locker room in Green Bay, everybody loves Rich. And you want to be a player's coach, though, this is the misnomer, right? And all you guys that played I guarantee you can resonate with this. You want to be a player's coach, it's not about being liked. It's about being respected. It's not about being liked, it's about being respected first. If they like you as well, that's awesome. You want to be a true player's coach, it's about the respect thing first. And Rich Bisaccia understands that to a T.
Paisan over there running special teams. Last question here about the coaching, and then we'll obviously let you go get that new driver that's going to smoke.
Hell yeah.
We're talking 320, 330.
Easy.
Right where you want it. Probably a little baby draw. To shout out to TaylorMade. I mean, I think that other company sent me a bunch of shit.
Yeah, the carbon wood, though.
The carbon wood. Oh, yeah.
Love that thing.
Oh, yeah, and I threw it. It was from.
Yeah.
I was
We'll get you one for Tahoe for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the way AJ hits the ball out there. You gotta catch up. He's unbelievable driving a golf ball, this guy over here.
I can't believe you let him beat you last year. That was really kind of you.
Bro, did you know that he hits all those in the fairway? Like, the first time I saw him drive, I'm like, oh, sweet. I've played with this guy 100 times.
My first shot of the tournament went in the water, bro. You know that. And then I skipped my second shot off the water.
Okay. Aside from that, you hit.
That was awesome, though. That was awesome.
It was sick. It was a great way to start. It was a great way to start. But the way he hits a golf ball, we've all played with this guy before. Okay, he's going to hit a fairway. Then this thing's going goodbye. Yeah. This ball's gone, or it's going to fade. He hit that thing. Every second shot was like 55 yards or whatever because he was just putting these drives all over the place. I got a sim, though. I'm working now. I'm working for next year, Aaron. I'm trying to get better.
I love it.
Do you have one? Do you work on a sim, or you just show up straight out of a tattoo and hungry and fucking beat everybody?
Yeah. I got to schedule my next tattoo, so I got to see if I can get hungry again.
Ooh, next
Where are we going? We going to same. You got the same other arm.
Get your Adam's apple.
What are you getting done? Do you already have it done, or are you going to figure that out with the tattoo guy?
Yeah, we'll see. I haven't thought about it yet.
Maybe barbed wire around your bicep.
Yeah, but leave it open because your soul.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
Can't have the
Soul
barbed
out.
wire connecting completely.
Third eye
gotta
on
leave
your
it.
forehead.
Yeah, you got to let it out. All right.
Maybe something around my belly button. We'll see. I don't know.
Oh, like Batista has that sun. He has like the
Yeah.
sun.
Yep.
Don Batista
Yeah,
has
Tupac.
that. Tupac has
Body,
the thug
your
life
body double, basically, yeah.
Yeah, you could get a butt.
on the
belly
belly
button?
button.
Yeah.
Yeah, just right there. Have that thing dance a little
Yeah,
bit.
that'd be a butthole.
You could have Elmer Fudd on your ass. Our guy Larman used to want to do this. Elmer Fudd with a gun at the butthole. Come out of there, you filthy varmint, or whatever.
Yeah.
Have like a air bubble and everything.
That's pretty good.
Just want to brainstorm. If you want to brainstorm, you do what you got to do.
Yeah, keep it up. Yeah, let's brainstorm some things here at a later date for sure. But
All right. Go get your
think about it.
driver. Go get your driver in. We appreciate you. Good luck with the whole thought process of what you're doing, and go crush Pebble Beach, dude.
I will do my best, and I can't wait to see you guys next week.
Oh.
Oh.
We're keeping this rolling, man. We're keeping it rolling.
Are you coming to Radio Row?
No. I'm not a Radio Row guy.
Come on. Well, easy in, easy out. No fans. We'll have you come in the back door. You come do it live, and then boom, you're out.
Wiz did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a coming to back door type of guy, man.
All right, respect. You do what you got to do. Ladies and gentlemen, 4-time MVP, Pebble Beach Pro-Am winner, Aaron Rodgers. He's in the process still.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rich Bisaccia, those are some high praise for Rich Bisaccia, who's currently getting interviewed by the Indianapolis Colts, I believe.